Welcome to It Takes Two. I'm Blair.
I'm Chris.
And today we'll be talking about Love and Marriage Huntsville.
Yes.
Season 6, episode 15.
All right.
So we start off where we left off before with Stormi, Marceau, and Tisha. And Stormi is talking to Tisha and Marceau about how unprofessional they are about asking her for $100 the day of. And Tisha is saying, well, look, I told him not to come over here. And Marceau, he ends up saying, well, let's just waive the fee. And Stormi is saying, well, let's just go ahead and donate to somebody who needs it.
Well, first of all, you are skipping past a whole bunch of you are trying to give the gist of the conversation. You are not even talking about how Stormi was disrespectful.
Yes.
How Stormi was threatening to call Courtney. Courtney is her husband.
Yes, she did that.
To get him into the situation. You ain't talk about how Stormi was, even though Marceau may have been unprofessional in that moment, but you're not talking about how Stormi was making a scene about the 100. The only reason why Marceau even thought about or even said, let's waive it, is because she kept going in. She kept talking about, I'm not the one to play with. She kept talking about, don't do that to me, and making it more personal than it have to be. In my opinion, everybody had to pay the $100. Yes, Marceau may have been wrong by approaching her and asking her the day of the event for the $100. I'll give Marceau and Tisha all the blame for that. But Stormi, you was in the right, but you took it so far that now you're all the way in the wrong, in my opinion.
Yeah. She had no reason to talk about, well, you don't want to see Courtney. I'm just like...
No, I do want to see Courtney now. I said,
it's not that serious.
No, now it's that serious. It's that serious to the point to where I'm like, you know what? Take all this stuff down. We don't need you today. Thank you. Thank you for your services.
Yeah.
Because I'm support black businesses. How I feel about things is, yes, it was unprofessional for Marceau to go over there. Yes, Tisha was the one who said, Marceau, I don't think you should go over there. Don't do it. Because Marceau could come off a little brash, a little harsh. You get what I'm saying?
And he probably felt like he was coming over nice. He asked, like, "Can I help you with something?"
But that was passive aggressive.
Exactly.
Because we know as the viewers of why he's over there.
Right.
So Marceau could come off a little hard on people. So Tisha probably was like, "Hey, that's a woman. Let's just play it cool, you know." But Marceau was like, "Let's just be direct. Everybody else had to pay, so let's just get the money now." My thing is, okay. This is Tisha's and Marceau's first event, the Blaque Expo. Yes, they was overbooked. Yes, they probably could have used a bigger venue. Yes, things may have been a little unorganized, but it's the first one. Let's not act like when you had your business, Stormi, that on the first day, the minute you started, you was the most professional black business owners ever. People make mistakes all the time. So let's not put more weight on our mistakes as black people because we was unprofessional this one time. Listen, Marceau, you was wrong. I understand that. But the way her response was totally uncalled for, in my opinion. But I digress.
Yeah.
You may continue.
So then we move on, and we see Mel and her brother Marcus driving to the Blaque Expo.
Which confused the hell out of me.
Me too. I thought she had some business situation that she had to do and why she couldn't be there, why she couldn't speak. If she didn't want to do it, she could have just said she didn't want to do it. For you to show up anyway, you know.
Let me put you on some game, Blair. Right? Let me put you on some game. Watch out for those friends that come and support.
Yeah.
I don't think Mel was coming there to support. I don't think so. I think she wanted to see how bad it was going to be. I think she was coming to see drama. Coming to see people fail because people passive aggressively want to feel like the show can't go on without me. If you watch the previous episodes, you can see how when they was having this meeting and things like that, they was talking about how, well, if Mel not go do it, will everybody do it if Mel don't do it? You know, as if Mel was like the stumbling block for everybody to come back because they say, you know, it's not the comeback group, but let's all of us do it. But Mel showed up with her brother because sometimes when you throwing shade, you need your friend to throw shade with.
And the kiki with.
Yeah, the kiki with. So
laugh in the back.
So I don't think Mel went there to support. I think she went there to see them do bad, to see it fall on his face. Be careful of those friends, man. Be careful. Be careful.
All right. Then, so they get to the place. They're looking around, talking with the vendors. It actually is a really good turnout. They got a lot of vendors, a lot of people out for the community.
They was overbooked.
Yeah, they were overbooked. As soon as Martell walks in, he talks to these people who have this mentor business, and he wants them to speak with his brother when his brother comes to try to get into like a business mindset. So then Tiffany and Lewis arrive, and
I totally forgot Tiffany was on the show.
Yeah, we hadn't seen them for a while.
Yeah, since she had a baby scare, whatever it was.
And then they come in, and then Marcus and Martell talk. And
are you kind of confused a little bit? Like,
yeah.
Okay. What happened there? What happened?
Nothing. Just Marcus. So Marcus is Mel's brother. I forgot who he was for a second.
Okay.
I was like, did I write down the wrong name?
Okay.
So Marcus and Martell talk.
Okay.
And I don't even know why they had an interaction, to be honest. I guess because they're both there and they know each other.
Listen here,
They could have just said hi and bye. Marcus don't fool with Martell, and Martell don't fool with Marcus.
Listen here, Marcus. Don't get beat up by Martell, man. You know Martell don't like you. You know Martell don't like you. He don't like your lifestyle. Do not even waste your energy on asking how he's doing. I'm sure you get all the information of how Martell doing and how they're doing from Mel. Just leave it at that. Just let it be two ships passing each other. Don't talk to each other. I think last time y'all had an interaction last season. I think the kids, or you said the kids was calling you daddy, or basically saying we want you to be our daddy, which I do not believe. And Martell almost whooped your behind in the parking lot. Just leave Martell alone. Leave him to himself. Because Martell, he's the type of guy where he's not going to approach you. He's not.
No.
He'll
just stand around.
He going to stand around and he going to say everything he needs to say in the confessional.
Right.
But in the moment, he just going to look like he don't see you. So just leave Martell alone. Leave him. Don't save your energy, man. Save your energy.
And the weird part about the conversation, which is probably a very small part, but you know, Martell is responding to Marcus's questions and is just saying, well, I really, we appreciate your support and just continue supporting us and how you do. And Marcus looked at him like he was crazy. What support?
Yeah.
I don't support you. What are you talking about? And that's how, like Martell just be saying stuff. Like, I feel like he just be wanting to say stuff to make it sound good, but it's like, we know your history. You know how you didn't want them to be around their uncle, like Chris said, because of his lifestyle.
Yeah. So
what do you mean his support? You don't even want him around your kids.
But
Martell, he was trying to keep it cute, but he just sounded crazy.
Yeah, I think that's just a small talk that Martell was trying to do. Just basically like, okay, just keep on supporting us as a family. And I think that was Martell's way of trying to end the conversation. Yeah. I'm just like, okay, it is what it is. But that's why I say just don't talk to each other.
Yeah, it's better y'all just don't speak.
Yeah, just don't speak to each other.
Then we go on, and Marceau asks Mel if she's going to speak when he sees Mel.
Okay, are you sure about that?
Yeah.
Okay. Dude, you were trying to get I'm about to say.
I'm sure about that. I need to write slower.
Okay. Okay.
I think that's what it is.
Okay.
Yeah. So Mel comes up and we see her and Marceau. Yeah. And so he turns to her and says, "Oh, you're gonna speak?" She's like, "No." I'm like, "Why are you here?"
No, my thing is simply this. Marceau, Tisha, you got the people that you have. The minute Mel would have told me no, or the minute anybody would have told me no, I just would have took that as an answer. Like, okay, you're not speaking. Yeah. Like, it just is what it is.
And even when Tiffany and Lewis came up, I think he said something to her like, "Oh, like, are you going to speak or whatever like that?" But Tiffany was like, "Oh, we only found out about it like a day or two before." But Tiffany wasn't even supposed to be there either. She said like she wasn't doing well.
Yeah, they said something like Tiffany was on bed rest or something like that.
Yeah,
but then she shows up. But I think she was asked to speak, or they was asked to speak, but they said he wasn't going to be there. Yeah. So it just is what it is.
So Montez, he ends up coming. He grabs Mel and he tells her just to keep being strong. And,
yeah.
and he's like, well, you know how my brother is.
Yeah.
So to me, I'm just like, Montez knows like his brother's a whole fool out here. And Mel was just talking about how, you know, they got married when they were like 21 or something. So she's been around the family for a really long time. Yeah. So she's pretty much seen him grow up because that's Martell's younger brother. And she's like encouraged him and tried to, you know, speak positivity over his life, you know, with all the trouble that he's been in growing up.
Facts.
And she even like starts to tear up and just saying how good it is to see him. And I don't know, I thought that was a really sweet scene.
It was cool. That
they were able to connect. And she even was just like, yeah, my ex-brother-in-law, but he's my brother. This is my brother.
Yeah.
Because pretty much, I mean, if you know somebody that long and they've been family that long, when you see them, you know, and they didn't do nothing to you, it's going to be like how it's always been in my eyes. So.
Well, you're nicer than some folks.
Yeah, true.
So.
Kimmy, she ends up coming to the expo, and she's coming right after her radiation treatment.
Yeah.
And I said, Kimmy looks good.
Kimmy look right.
Kimmy looks good, but I'm just saying, coming after a treatment.
I understand. Look.
Like, she doesn't look like what she's going through at all.
I don't
like, she looks good.
I don't want to make it sound like I'm a Kimmy hater, but I just feel like y'all are Kimmy ecstatic fans and stuff. Kimmy always look put together. She ain't look any more put together than she normally does. She look very put together as she normally does.
Yeah.
That's just how I feel. I'm not anti-Kimmy. I'm just like, okay.
Yeah.
She looks good like everybody, like all the time.
Yeah. So then we go on to Stormi gets a phone call during the event.
Yeah.
That 126 labels have been labeled incorrectly. So I guess they was putting the shampoo labels on the conditioner bottles and the conditioner labels on the oil bottles.
Let's not guess. I'm just saying.
So she's talking to Courtney on the phone, and he's like, yeah, we ran out of labels. She's saying, I bought more than enough labels. What is going on? And that's where we find out they mislabeling the bottles.
Yeah.
So
I guess everybody can't be perfect like Stormi.
Okay.
I'm just saying. Sorry.
Yeah, Stormi, even in your own business, there's mishaps, and you have to respond.
Yes.
And not go off on people.
Exactly.
So I was irritated by that for Stormi.
It was strange watching you be irritated by that because you're not a business owner. I don't know why like the labels being wrong would upset you. I'm just like, okay.
I was irritated for her because like we even like talked about it's just like, Stormi, does she have to be there for folks to do stuff right? Does she have to be in the building?
It seemed that way.
Like that's irritating. Like she can't go off and do something for the community and you know, make sure that the warehouse knows how to put labels on bottles. Like, what the hell is y'all doing?
Well, if that's the case, if the business can't operate unless the founder and the owner is there, then that means the owner picked the wrong people to run it while she's not there.
And that's something that they're talking about this season too, of like maybe rehiring.
And that's on you, Stormi.
Yeah.
Maybe your business not so perfect after all.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I would say we would need a whole retraining session. We're going to take a day, and all we're going to do today for 8 hours is put mock labels on mock bottles and take them off and put them on and take them off and put it on.
Okay.
Because this isn't happening again. And then I was thinking like, well, what was Courtney doing? But apparently Courtney was driving and like physically delivering the product. So he wasn't even there.
I'm about to say, like, if the business can't run unless I'm there, then like, I don't know what I'm doing. I might as well work by myself.
Yeah. So Tiffany and Stormi, they end up talking. Tiffany goes over to Stormi's Canvas Beauty area, and Stormi is just talking about the drama that she's having back at the warehouse and about how Marcel came up to her asking for $100.
She's still on this $100. Okay.
Yeah. Tiffany, she starts saying like, oh, like they were trying to ask me to speak, and you know I didn't even know anything about it.
Tiffany,
and I'm like, Tiffany, I feel like you just saying stuff so you can have something to say, because like you said you weren't gonna be there.
Tiffany is the agent of chaos, man. And now I understand why Marceau, I think he said it a couple episodes ago, where he called her a Karen or something like that.
Yeah.
Like, she just caused trouble. Like, she never comes in peace. Mm-hmm. When Tiffany's in the room or when Tiffany's part of the scene, you just know she's there to stir the pot. And it's like, I don't understand why she's still on the show, in my opinion. I don't have a good time watching her stir the pot because it just comes off as very evil.
Yeah.
In a way. It just comes off as evil. And of course, in her translation, it comes off as transparent for her, which I don't understand why she used that word. But it just comes off as evil. Stormi, I understand you still on $100. Pay it or don't pay it. Don't talk about it no more. And not Kimmy, Tiffany just over there just putting more fuel on the fire, saying like, yeah, that's very unprofessional. Mm-hmm. Like, yeah, that's very unprofessional. And that's one thing I do not like. Granted, there's a whole bunch of unprofessional black businesses out there that should not get my dollar. I'm 100% about that. But my thing is, if this is somebody's first time doing something, this is not going to be a 100% perfect score. Things are going to fall through the crack. And my thing is, in restaurants, plates get dropped all the time. But I'm just saying, let's not act like when we drop a plate as black people, or when we drop the ball as black people, that's a death sentence. That, oh my goodness, you won't ever get my dollar again for the first time you ever doing this. You never tried this before. You never did this before, but you ain't never get my dollar again. Like, stop it. Stop it. Everybody did not start off at the top. So let's not judge everybody with that heavy hand. I don't know. I just didn't like I ain't like the tone of this episode. The whole tone of this episode I did not like. But continue.
Yeah. So they're asking, the guys are talking to Martell and they're asking him about, where's Shari? Is Shari coming to the Blaque Expo event? And he's like, oh no, like she's in California. Mm-hmm. She ain't picking up the phone. She doing her own thing. I don't buy y'all's relationship. So she just out living her life, just like how you living your life and doing whatever the hell you do.
I like how they give each other space.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And one thing I wanted to touch on too was Maurice asked Martell, "Where's your wines?"
That is a good question.
Where your wine at?
Truth be told, until Maurice said something, I forgot he had a wine. I totally forgot.
And his response was, "I don't want to be selfish. We gotta get space for other people. They got wines, they can do whatever. I'm a thoughtful guy. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like I care about the community."
Martell, you know how I try to defend you as much as possible, or as much as you allow me to. That ain't the right answer, brother. Your wine could have sponsored the event. You could have just had, for people to be like, oh, what wine is this?
And you could have been a $200 sponsor. You didn't have to sponsor the whole doggone thing, but you could have had your name and logo somewhere on the main stage.
My thing is, I saw people drinking. Mm-hmm. If people are drinking, I would want my drink to be the official drink of the event. Mm-hmm. If your wine is that good, I would want people to be like, what wine is this? Can I take a bottle home?
Yeah.
Where can I find it? Maybe the wine ain't that good. I don't know. It seemed like Martell, as crazy as it may sound, as we will see in the scenes from now, he comes off as a shy guy. He don't want to do nothing in the forefront when it comes to business. He's not shy in his personal life, apparently. But, he don't want to put his business out there on Front Street. He don't want to speak. He just comes off as he want to be in the picture. Mm-hmm. It's
I thought you was a businessman. No,
man. You have to speak and put yourself out there, man. You have to speak and put yourself out there.
Yeah. So then we go to them being on stage. Yeah. And they're talking. Mm-hmm. And they're behind this screen, but the light is shining through, so you can see them standing on the screen. But they could probably even hear them arguing up there. Yeah, like they said, they were arguing in front of the whole doggone event. Yeah. So Martell's talking about he doesn't want to speak. Yeah, he's shy. Like, Mel's in the audience. I didn't really expect her to be here.
That was weird.
What does that have to do with anything?
That was weird.
Mel's here, so you can't do your obligation. What does that mean? So maybe he knew he was gonna fall on his face. I don't know. So they ended up calling everybody out, and then they called Martell. I was nervous he wasn't gonna walk out, but he walked out and he took his seat. And they were asking, a bunch of different business questions.
Yeah.
Some, I guess, that were out of their scope of practice, as far as like the one guy. Well, they all speak about what they were knowledgeable about at first.
Yeah.
And then Martell, it didn't seem like he really spoke much in the panel, and I'm sure they edited it down, but he pretty much just did the Q&A portion.
Yeah.
He looked nervous as hell doing that portion too. But I mean, he's probably, like you say, he's not used to doing that type of stuff. But they're asking Marceau about like venture capital and all these different things, and he tries to answer the question, but he does end up saying like, I'm not really familiar with that, to really fully explain. We go to the confessional, and Tiffany is saying like, well, who knows about venture capital? This lady right here.
But you're not on the panel.
You're not on the panel, and you said you wasn't gonna be here.
So you gonna be in the crowd sitting next to Lewis.
Exactly. It's weird. Weirdos. So they end up wrapping that up, and Stormi and Courtney, they're talking in their confessional. He was saying that he like took hours, like 15-hour drive or something, to deliver the items. Like that's a lot. And they're talking in the bed, and Stormi does end up telling Courtney about the situation with with
Marceau. Yes.
Yeah. And Courtney is saying that, I'll approach him about it.
Something that happened, which I do not approve of. I don't even approve of in my own household. I do not approve of any woman calling a man a B word. Because if that man was to respond and put his hands on you, you can't defend yourself. So, like, I never approve of a woman calling a man a B word. And Stormi basically was like, can you tell Marceau stop acting like a B? And I'm just like, no. Dude, like, you're taking it too far. Like, you was already in the right. You could just left it as, this is unprofessional, and we will not talk about this on the day of the expo. Let's have a conversation tomorrow. Yeah. You could easily do that. But now, like, kind of how Tiffany got Lewis into it by giving him the details that she only wanted to give him, that he said, you know what, I'm going to go confront Martell and Marceau. Now you getting Courtney into some mess that he don't know. The man just getting back from New York, and you making it seem like he came over there and he was towering over you, as if he was like some tyrant or something like that.
And the way these women retell these stories it's
just weird.
It's like the worst, most aggressive conversation, when it wasn't even like that.
No.
It wasn't even like that. So now you have Courtney on the defense trying to protect his wife when there was no danger in the first place.
So, like, that's something that I don't like, and that's evil.
Y'all gonna get y'all husbands caught up.
And husbands. Okay, I'm about to say, pick one. Okay, I guess not
cousin husbands.
I guess we
ain't in West Virginia. We in Alabama.
You go get the cousins. Go get the cousins and husband beat up. No, like that's evil. Like it is manipulative, and it's not right. And I don't know if the whole point, like, maybe it's just pillow talk, and maybe it's just something that's just meant to be in private, but we like see it. You know how reality TV is. But I ain't like that, because I'm the type of guy to where if I am approached by somebody, or I get approached by somebody that wasn't in a situation, and they coming to me aggressive, I'm going to defend myself the best way I know how. And it's not fair, because Courtney will approach Marceau one day, and Marceau going to be like, what are you talking about? And Marceau got every right to defend himself however he feels. Right. Because he's on the defense. But go ahead. Continue.
So their conversation continues.
You having a day today, but I'll tell you.
I'm going to get it together.
Okay.
I just woke up.
Okay.
Courtney, he is explaining to Stormi why he doesn't want to extend the family, or didn't want to extend the family.
Yeah.
And how during her birth it was very traumatic. The doctor was throwing out like pails of blood from her. She lost a lot of blood. He was scared he was going to lose her. And I guess she didn't realize how impacted he was by that whole experience. And she was even saying like, I didn't even see him throwing the blood. Like, I was so out of it. I really don't even know what was going on.
I think that was a beautiful conversation.
Yeah.
Because not a lot of men will open up and share with them their fears of anything. And some as simple as, I don't want to lose you when having a baby. I think we kind of underestimate how like dangerous it is bringing a life into like this world.
Yeah,
absolutely. Like we always talk about like, you know, we want 3 kids, we want 4 kids, we want 5 kids or something like that. I don't want 5 kids, but it's like, wow, each time you're risking your life bringing a life into the world.
Yeah. So
I can understand why Courtney would be like, hey man, we tried this one time. Pails of buckets of blood is being like thrown, like it's just too much. So I understand why he would be she would be traumatized by that a little bit.
Yeah. And she really, and also she didn't know because he held it together, but like a lot of time men do hold it together for the women and for their families.
Of course.
So he's going to be the rock for you, which is amazing that she has a husband like that.
Of course.
But his compromise is that he's willing to look into surrogacy as a way of extending the family and just not putting her body through that again.
That is cool.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah. So that's what's up. Then we move on to
the scene of the night.
Yes, all the ladies get together. Stormi, Tiffany, Kimmy, and Tisha.
Mm-hmm.
And they're having, it looks like a brunch or something to debrief and talk about the Blaque Expo.
Yeah.
Tiffany brings up that she felt excluded.
Tiffany, just go somewhere, please.
Tiffany just wants to be mad.
Just go, please. Just go somewhere.
You just want to be mad. And she was like, I didn't know about it till like a day or two before. It seemed like y'all had like a whole planning situation. Well, yeah, but you weren't part of the planning committee.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we just brought you in, to see if you could participate in this way or that way. But we didn't really need you on the planning end. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not feeling Tiffany.
Okay.
Yeah. Especially this episode, because to me, you're not making sense. I can see where she's coming from, but
I don't. But move on.
Yeah. Anyway, so Tisha. So Tisha didn't like how Stormi responded to Marceau. So Stormi's, coming out and talking about the whole $100 situation thing again. Yeah, she brings it up at the brunch.
Mm-hmm.
And Tisha, she admits that, look, I told him not to go over there and say that to you.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't talk to you about it before. I
Mm-hmm.
didn't think it was right that he came up the same day.
Facts.
But pretty much you also overreacted.
She said she didn't like her response.
Yeah, like your response is unprofessional. You're talking about us being unprofessional. Your response was unprofessional and over the top.
It was in a business setting.
Yeah, it was in a business setting.
Mm-hmm.
And it didn't really have to be all that.
Yeah.
And then
I don't know what the hell Stormi heard, but Stormi started going off.
Well, because Stormi's saying you can't tell me how to react to someone doing that I think is wrong to me.
What?
You can't control my response.
What?
So
that makes no sense, Stormi.
I mean, I do agree. I'm like, she can't control your response, but she is telling you, and she even said it out her mouth, I can't control your response, but I do think that was a little much.
Look, dude, you know who says stuff like that? Kids. You don't go through this world just being able to think you can say whatever you can say. Even Tisha brought up the fact, like, you even like passive aggressively threatening my husband by saying you gonna tell Courtney. Like, what are you gonna tell Courtney for? What? Yeah, you ain't telling Courtney so y'all can have a discussion. You saying it because you're trying to now you're threatening my husband.
Yeah, you took it to a whole nother level, and
now your response to that is I can say whatever I want. No, you cannot. No, you cannot. You cannot say whatever you want as an adult. I don't know what this idea Stormi had, and I'm not even trying to criticize her because I love my black people. But I don't know I don't know if they was in the street or if they was in a restaurant. But Stormi made it seem like it was a personal beef with Tisha. As if like Tisha wasn't even the one that asked for $100. Tisha actually was the one saying, I was on your side. Yeah. Saying like, yo, Marceau was wrong. He shouldn't have did that. You know what I mean? But Stormi took it as if like it reminded me of the scene with her mother and her aunt. It's like, yo, it's like y'all not listening to each other. You ain't listening to her. You don't hear nothing you say. You just aggressive. But past episodes, it gives the look as if you're the peacemaker. but you're not over here trying to make peace.
Right.
You ain't trying to make peace. You're one of the ones that's actually keeping it going and making it worse than what it is. And Tisha just got to defend herself. She just got to be like, what's going on? Like basically, what the F going? Like, what the F is up,
Yeah.
Stormi? Like,
yeah. She said, "What the F is your problem, Stormi?"
Like basically, like, why all this like fire coming at me?
Right.
Even Kimmy, the one y'all said, look good as like you said,
What a T. Good.
Kimmy's like, yo, what's up, Kimmy? Once Kimmy can't even calm the situation down, the situation's done. Because Kimmy usually the one that everybody like listen to as the peacemaker and stuff. Kimmy trying to calm Stormi down. And Tisha got to defend herself. She was like, yo, I'm happy I'm not the same Tisha as I was back in the day because I just would have jumped over the table and stuff like that. And now you just lost all control. Now Stormi's on the defensive like, oh, I wish you would. I wish you would.
It's just like, we're not about to fight. Like,
right. But my whole thing is.
Chill out.
But like, my whole thing is it didn't have to get to that. My whole, if it's just $100, pay the $100.
Yeah.
And guess what? And never work with them again. Pay the $100 and never work with them again. But this whole thing of just measly $100, because Courtney said the same thing. Like, basically, you doing all this over $100. If it's just $100, pay the $100 and never talk to them again. Like, just
if it's just $100, just give it.
Just give it away. But it's and my whole thing is, I would understand if everybody didn't have to pay $100, but everybody had to pay $100. And in your opinion, you said you believe that they should just waive it for Stormi because of how they came at her.
Well, I felt like he should have never came to her from the jump. They should have just ate it because that was their problem. If they were going to approach her, he should have came apologetic.
Yeah. Saying,
I'm sorry, I didn't communicate to you about this before. I know we presented it as you doing us a favor.
100%.
But we are charging vendors $100 and we would appreciate, and we really do kind of need each vendor to do that so we can offset the cost. He should have came a lot more humble. Maybe
Stormi would have reacted a lot better. So
we don't know.
So I definitely give her respect that maybe she would have acted a lot better and maybe like secretly feel like that's kind of unprofessional. But he did come apologetic. Besides coming over here acting like he want to help hang up balloons.
Exactly.
You get what I'm saying? So like I understand that. But like this was just the feeling of this, like the feeling of this whole episode. I ain't like, like I'm pro black, of course, and I'm just like, yo, we gotta stop, and not know like we gotta stop the violence. I'm not on that, but I'm just like, yo, Marceau and Tisha made a mistake. It wasn't professional, but it was their first one. Let's judge them when they do their fifth one and their 10th one, and if they still got the problems of their first one, then we can be like, hey, y'all don't know how to do this.
And I do want to mention, I am really seeing the growth in Tisha from season 1 till now.
Yeah, she's trying.
Like she, just her business acumen and just trying to put things together, leading situations, and trying to take hold of conversations and meetings. Like that's amazing. And also her dealing with conflict. Like in the first few seasons, she would just up and leave or get to arguing and not being able to like keep herself calm.
She did kind of leave, but
she was at least trying to have the conversation with Stormi versus popping off and meeting her at her level.
That's fact.
So
no,
I commend Tisha for handling it the way that she did.
Y'all may not know, but personally, Tisha haven't been one of my favorite characters on the show. Because she always give me the old Tisha moments, where I'm always holding my head. But I haven't held my head yet at all this season with Tisha yet. Not yet. This is still the first part. We still got a second half that Tisha may get me to hold my head a little bit.
And I think I saw they said it's not coming out till September. So I'm just like, jeez.
Well, guess what? We're not news reporters, so we don't. I'm not gonna break any news of when it's gonna come out. So it is what it is.
I'm gonna miss it.
But my whole point is, a lot of people who, guess what? Stormi, throw your own expo. Tiffany, throw your own expo. And you can speak all you want. You can be the only speaker. But we be the first one to criticize somebody else who's trying to do the work or trying to do something when we're now on that stage or when we got to handle the responsibility of getting everybody together in one setting. So that's why I said, let's just be gracious, man, with each other.
Yeah.
Because it's not going to be perfect the first go around.
Right.
Anything else?
That's all. Y'all have a good rest of your day. Good night, and we'll see you next time.